Parak HaMoicher es SPONSER, Daf Peiches, sponsored the Refuah Shlema for Yohanan ben Dvara. We begin with a Mishnah. Mishnah brings a dispute between the Chachamim and Rabbi Yehuda concerning a child sent by his father to purchase oil from a storekeeper. The storekeeper measured the oil, poured it into a jug, and gave the child change. The child dropped the bottle and lost the money on the way home. The Chachamim hold the storekeeper is liable. He must compensate the father for the oil, money, and the jug. Rabbi Yehuda holds the storekeeper is exempt. The father sent the child to deliver the oil and change. The Mishnah concludes if the child did not give the jug to the storekeeper, even the Chachamim agree the storekeeper is exempt. The basis of the dispute. The Chachamim hold the father sent his child to notify the storekeeper of his purchase, but expected a reliable delivery. Rabbi Yehuda holds the father sent the child, considering him sufficiently responsible to deliver as well. The challenge. Both explanations make sense regarding the oil and money, but according to the Chachamim, there is no reason the storekeeper should be responsible for the jug. It is an Aveda Midas. He sent it with a child too young to protect it properly. Evidently, he did not care about it breaking. Based on this question, the Gemara interprets the Mishnah in 4 different ways. Number 1, Rav Oshai explains the father sells jugs. He sent it for the storekeeper to examine and purchase. Shmuel rules, Anoto kli min ha'uman amanas levakro v'nenas biyado chayev. A prospective buyer who inspects utensils highly demanded with a fixed price, breaks it accidentally, is liable. We view it as already acquired because the owner cannot sell it to anybody else in the interim, and being in great demand, he most probably will buy it. Number 2, Rabbah and Rav Yosef explain the Mishnah referring to a case where the storekeeper sent a jug for the father to purchase. The father did not abandon it. The dispute is whether sending the son can be interpreted by the storekeeper as the father trusting the son's ability to guard it, or just to notify the storekeeper of the purchase. The delivery was to be done by someone more reliable. Number 3, Abai and Rav Chia bar Avin explained that in fact the jug was abandoned by the father. However, once he took it from the son, according to the Chachamim, he becomes responsible for it. Rabbah holds, a zokein ve'enu lefi chavodo, a respected personality, is not obligated to return a lost animal. However, if he prods it to move aside, he becomes responsible. According to Rabbi Yehuda, he is not responsible. Number 4, Rabbi Zera explains the storekeeper borrowed the jug to measure oil for other customers. The dispute is the status of a shoel shalom midas, one who borrows without the consent of the owner. According to both opinions in the Mishnah, this is prohibited. The dispute is the extent of their resultant liability. The Chachamim hold he is a gazlan, assuming full responsibility of the stolen item until returned to the father. According to Rabbi Yehuda, his responsibility is as a shoel to return it to where he took it from. In this case, the hand of the child. The Gemara concludes with 3 cases that define the parameters of Shmuel's ruling. 1, inspecting an item and it breaks, he is liable. Number 1, the price has to be fixed. Number 2, he must indicate to the seller his intention to finalize a purchase. Unless he is God-fearing, like Rav Safra, he is responsible as soon as he makes up his mind. Number 3, the Gemara Nedarim adds that the item must be in high demand. Now we move on to a new Mishnah. The Mishnah discusses requirements of one who deals with weights and scales. Number 1, the Tanakama holds a wholesaler of liquid merchandise, such as wine or oil, must wipe his measuring utensils from residue once every 30 days, whereas a householder once every 12 months. Ram Gamliel holds the reverse. Since a wholesaler measures frequently, the liquid does not congeal. Number 2, according to both opinions, a storekeeper must wipe them twice a week and his weights once a week. Since he is not obligated to let an additional 3 drops drip into the buyer's utensil, the residue is more than that of a wholesaler or householder. Number 3, in places customary to tilt scales in favor of the buyer, for a purchase of a litra or more, the seller must allow it to tilt a tefach. However, in a place where the scale is not tilted, he must give the extra amount 1/100th of the merchandise for liquids, or 1/200th or 1/400th for dry goods. The Gemara concludes with a homiletic teaching. The punishment for false measures is more severe than the punishment for illicit relationships. At least one can repent for illicit relationships, but one cannot return money he stole with faulty weights. If you're enjoying Daf and 5, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. Thank you.